Well, that's a great group of troublemakers I'm looking at. I just want to test my screen before. Can you see the Keller Williams welcome? Yes. Okay, right on. Thank you. So thank you very much for joining me today. I know that you guys are super duper busy and you have probably plenty of other things that you need to be doing right now. I hope that our time together is going to be very beneficial. What I'd like to do, please, is just number one, I'm a coach here at Zillow. This is not a sales call. My whole reason for getting in touch with you all is to make sure that your branding on Zillow Group, which is the largest network in the world, it includes Zillow, Trulia, realestate.com, HotPads, Google Now, we power AOL, MSN, Yahoo real estate sites, as well as Leju and Curve.com. So your profiles on Zillow, you need to have really cool branding, and it's really important that we walk through branding and some of the great free tools that you have here to make sure that your listings are branded correctly, and how to use Zillow Group with social media, because social media is obviously really important, but it can be such a time suck, right? And also how to convert online leads, whether they come from our source or from KW. So with that being said, I've been at the company here for almost 8 years. I was the 191st one hired at Zillow Group. We're now 3,700 people strong and 16 different companies. I was the 8th woman on the sales floor to be hired. Matter of fact, when I was hired, we had 2 men's restrooms and 1 female restroom. That's how wonky it was in those days. So that's my background. I used to have a book of business, many of which were KW agents, because you guys are the best in the business, and with your being the biggest brokerage and the strongest branded in the world, being matched onto Zillow with a Zillow profile is going to be very important. So with that being said, I just wanted to welcome Debbie's whole team. I noticed that you guys work by the premise of inspiring others to dream more, think more, learn more, and become more. And with me, that fits right into my desire for you guys. I'm notorious for helping good agents become great and great agents dominate. And it all comes down to learning more and becoming more. So just wanted to quickly run through what our mission statement is here at Zillow. We're here to build the largest, most trusted, and vibrant home-related marketplace in the world. Notice I didn't say brokerage. We're not becoming a brokerage. I know that that's what the latest hubbub is out there, but that's not true. We are a marketplace where we connect buyers and sellers, renters and homeowners with really good real estate agents, mortgage brokers, property managers, and we provide home-related services. These are just some of the brands that I had mentioned. We've got a lot of core IT in here as well. So it's Zillow, Trulia, StreetEasy, realestate.com, HotPads, and Naked Apartments. StreetEasy, Naked Apartments, and Out East are all, Naked Apartments and StreetEasy are Manhattan, and Out East is the Hamptons. So last month we had more than 165 million unique users visit our Zillow Group brands, and they come in from all different sources. Again, realestate.com, Zillow, Trulia, and so forth. Just know this, that out of those 186,000, let's call it, brand new unique users that discover us for the first time, 50% of those people are going to be an actual transaction, a paycheck for agents. You know, we do become an obsession when somebody finds Zillow Group. They tend to come back to us an average of 27 times a month, viewing an average of 77 homes a month, which is really incredible considering, you know, going from not knowing us at all to being an obsession just like Instagram is to them. And of course, this is another reason why it's really important for you guys to maintain a really strong brand, is because the consumers, once they find us, become very savvy, And when they start seeing your face and brand on, if you're a buyer's agent, a paid agent with us, or if you're a listing agent, we always give attribution to the seller's agent, and they notice your review count and past sale count. So let's start off with converting leads. Now I know that I have on here converting ZG leads, but I'm talking about converting any lead that comes in to your buckets. So one of the things I can tell you is that Harvard did an amazing study on lead generation, and they discovered that if you touch a contact 6 times the first 6 days, your connectivity rate goes up to 90%. Now, they may tell you that they're not ready to have you start actively helping them, but at least you'll get a really good idea of your buyer's timeline. So that's really important. So when you get a lead from any source, make sure that you call, text, email, and Facebook them. And I would absolutely introduce video to your introduction back to them. Please make sure that you have a lead video on your cell phone where you just keep it short and sweet like me. Talk about why you love living where you live. Give a warm greeting and invitation like I'm looking forward to doing business with you, or I'm excited to help you find your next home. And then a call to action always, which is if you or someone you know needs help and my expertise in this area, please call or text me at la la la. And make sure that you house that on your cell phone. Because when you reach back to these people, you're going to look absolutely unique to them because most agents aren't utilizing video. So please make sure that when you're reaching back on that initial contact, that you text them and email them that video. And what should you be saying? You should be saying just a couple of things on that text. Keep it short. I would say something like, thank you very much for your inquiry. Are you available in 5 minutes? Enjoy my video. You're going to text and email that. With the email, you can attach that video. With the text, you'll have to send them a text right after you text them that verbiage. So 6 times the first 6 days. I would shake up the times that you call them. The first call, probably breakfast. Second one is lunch. Third one is dinner. Day 5 through 10, make sure that you are connecting with them in some fashion. So we have a really good CRM on the back end, and I know that you guys have a couple of amazing CRMs, and I know I was at the Mega Camp and had the pleasure of meeting Lisa Lonbach there, and she and I don't remember she and I, but we were discussing the brand new CRM, the really powerful stuff that you guys have now to work with. And we also have a really good little CRM on the back end of ours. It's not as robust as you guys, but please feel free to use it because when people come in through Zillow and then you're responding through Zillow, that maintains that same branding connection, KW and Zillow and you together. So on here, you can see that we have, you've got an inbox and you can respond directly from that inbox. Again, speed to lead. Most agents take about 15 minutes because they research what the consumer is reaching out about. Please don't do that. Make sure that you get right back to these people with a phone call, text, and email, and delight them with your excellent customer service. So you can see that you can do, right here, you can respond immediately, which is wonderful, especially through text. The average text is read within 2 minutes. The average email is sometimes never read. What's cool about our CRM is that you can actually have an influx of all of, and connect the two on Tech Connect on the back end of that. And that will help you stay nice and organized as well, letting the lead flow go directly into your CRM, your EDGE CRM. So with people that are enrolled in Premier Agent, we actually have a Premier Agent team, a concierge team, that we get back to people usually within about 2.5 minutes. And then we try to do a direct connection from Zillow or Trulia to that agent. It really helps facilitate consumers that are raising their hand and saying, yes, I need to speak with someone, rather than a solicitation call or perhaps another agent reaching out. What's cool about our CRM as well is that you can manage all kinds of information, and sometimes you even get that information prior to you getting back to them and having to ascertain it yourself. The consumers love Zillow. Again, they come back to us ad nauseum, and they oftentimes put their search behavior in here, which is really great, because then you can have a more intelligent conversation with them. I just want to go over the initial conversation when you're working with online leads, please. When you get that call, it's really important to see what they're looking at and not the actual building themselves, and then concentrate on the buyer instead of the building. So what I mean by that is most agents and your calls through Zillow, if you're a Premier agent, are actually recorded. So I listen to a lot of these calls and do QA and help agents on a lot of these calls. And what I've discovered is the best way to get in front of that consumer right away is when they reach out, instead of saying, oh, I see that you inquired about 123 Main Street, and then I can hear you guys frantically trying to search on MLS, it's much better and a much better flow of conversation if you say, hey, I see that you were inquiring about a 3-bedroom. Now, is that exactly what you're looking for? That is such a good opener, because then they start talking about their desires, and then you can start trying to attack the MLS and see not only about that home, but other homes like that home. The next question out of your mouth should be, when do you want to go see it? Or if that's a little too abrupt, after I see that you inquired about a 3-bedroom, what is it about that house that you really like? That's another great follow-up question, because it'll get them talking, and you'll be able to ascertain a whole bunch of cool things, like it's the neighborhood I grew up in, my kids, I love the school system, that kind of thing. So we know that that consumer, that online consumer, is 4 times more likely to stay with you and stick with you if you can be the first one in front of them. So that's why it's important to ask those questions and then get out there and start showing homes with them. Does that make sense, you guys, on why it's an easier flow of conversation? The other thing, too, that I've learned is, instead of asking, are you pre-qualified? Because I've discovered through a lot of agents that that's kind of an off-putting question. And the better way to ask that would be, now, is this going to be a cash deal? And the reason that works so well is because you just stroke the ego of your hearer, your buyer, and you'll probably get a better answer, such as, oh gosh, I'm actually approved for $450. Or even better, if they're not, you'll then become their hero, where you can say, oh, no problem, I've got a really great lender to hook you up with, okay? So this is where you can do lead disposition. You can take them all the way from new to close, and you can also edit the contact and personal information in here as well. You can do lead segmentation, which is really great for prospecting, keeping in mind that people that come through our site are going to be a transaction in about 12 months. The brand new users, 186 million users, are going to be transacting in 12 months. And most users are going to transact somewhere between 3 months and 18 months. So agents that close a lot of business through Zillow Group, like between 7 and 17% of the online leads, have some very similar behaviors. Number one, they answer their phone. I know that sounds unusual, because I know that you guys going out showing buyers, sometimes it's really hard to get a hold of the listing agent. Number two, they extend the 10 days of pain, where has anybody in the room heard of 10 days of pain?
Yes.
No? Oh, yeah. Okay, I've got some head shaking. Okay, good. So the 10 days of pain is day 1, call, text, email, Facebook them. Start them on a drip campaign. Usually a market report is a good way to do that, and send out a video to them. Day 2, you call them at breakfast. Day 3, you call them at lunch. Day 4, you call them at dinner. Day 5 through 10, you make some form of contact. And then every 4 weeks, you'll follow up with them until you finally get a hold of them, utilizing video. The second thing that they do is, the first thing they do is they answer the phone. The second thing they do is they implement the 10 days of pain, knowing the connectivity rate goes up, especially within the first 6 days. And the third thing they do is they prospect their old data, starting from about 15 or 12 months working forward. And the way that I would do it, and the way that I've seen great agents really convert a ton of leads, is this way. Not only do they attach when they're prospecting that welcome video, but they also attach what I'm going to call prospecting videos, meaning that once a month you go out into your inventory and you get in front of a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom, and if you have any 6-bedroom inquiries, you'll do that as well. And you'll just get out of the car, stay on street level, please, so you don't anger the seller or the listing agent, and you'll just do a selfie. Keep it short, right? You're going to go, hi, this is Elizabeth. You had originally inquired about a 4-bedroom. I don't know if you've seen this one yet or not, but please call or text me at your phone number. And then when you're prospecting your old data and you run across one of these like-style homes and you haven't spoken to them yet, then you'll attach that video and your welcome video and a new listing, and you'll email and text them. And I would say something like, you know, you had originally inquired about a 4-bedroom. I don't know if you've seen this one yet. Please call or text me at and join my video, and then get those videos off. Now with an email, you can attach both of those videos, but with a text, again, you send out the original, that little text, and then you turn right around and send out both of those videos, okay? This is just more going over helping with prospecting using our CRM. And we also have tasks and reminders to keep you on track so that you can make sure that you're not missing anything. And then you also have daily tasks where you can come in and see what tasks you have either for that day or tasks that are pending. You can create new tasks for your people. I know I'm going through this quickly, but you guys mostly probably use your CRM through eEdge or Keller Williams. And you can also call very quickly through our CRM, so it's seamless, because remember they reach out using, if you're a paid member, a trackable number, and then sometimes when you reach back to them, it's an unknown number to them, so sometimes it's better just to go through our system. And then guidelines for continued follow-up. Again, make sure that you're utilizing great drip campaigns, use video messaging. I cannot tell you how important that is. Make sure that you're prospecting your data. And when it says to rescore leads, I'm just talking about putting new comments such as lead disposition and also segmentation, where you find and discover that they're not ready to go yet, but they will be ready to go in about 6 months. When you check in, don't just call and say, hey, have you purchased a home yet? Make sure that you have some kind of value-added thing that you're calling them about. Let's say they're shopping in an area where the school system just increased their levy to put in a new elementary school. You want to, if they're inquiring about a 2 or greater bedroom home, they probably might have a kid, and so you want to reach out and say, hey, I don't know if you knew this or not, but if we're building a new elementary school and I see that you were shopping in this area. And make sure that you're setting follow-ups for every call, and then block calendar time for your appointments, not just appointments with your buyers and sellers, obviously, but time block to reach back in so that you can actually get going on your old data. And make sure that, you know what, agents that close the most business, their heart attitude is they're either going to buy or die. They are not going to need another great agent. I'm going to be their agent. So let's talk about branding. What's really cool is on your profile, you can actually do a couple of things. You can talk about, who you are as far as if you're a real estate broker, agent, real estate professional. What's kind of cool putting there is I would put your tagline there, like, your area expert, or some kind of marketing tagline that you're utilizing right here. You can also make sure that everybody that comes into Zillow can have access directly to your website and all your social media. And after you put these in, please remember to go back into your profile and test them. Nothing screams unprofessionalism like a link that doesn't work, okay? And then this is where you would house that welcome video that you would also send out on your lead your branded lead. Reviews are super important. Make sure that you have a nice little bio. Make sure that your past sales are on there, your all-time past sales. If you need help uploading, let's say, how many people have been in business for, let's say, more than 10 years? Awesome. So what you might want to do is make a note. You can send us your all-time past sales on here, and we'll put those in and get you guys caught up. What we need is simply 4 columns on an Excel spreadsheet. I need the address, including zip, please, the date, the dollar, and with whom you represented, buyer, seller, or both. And please send that to the alias past sales uploads at zillowgroup.com, and we'll catch you up. It takes sometimes just a week, and then from that point forward, you can make sure that you're staying up on your past sales. So increasing your visibility of your listings with a video walkthrough, you guys, this is such an easy task to do, and it is so beneficial. Video walkthrough's function is to pop the listing up to the top of the search order and alert all the people that have saved your home as a favorite. So think about this strategically. Each home on Zillow, which we have almost 100% of all the homes in the United States, regardless of status, is its own web page. So you can actually house a video walkthrough on the back of that web page. The way that Zillow works is newest listings come first, and as new listings come on, it starts aging or matriculating your listing down. So why not wait for it to go down, maybe 10 days, 2 weeks. It'll give it enough time for people to actually see your listing and save it as a favorite. Then you turn right around and publish that video walkthrough. It'll pop it right back up to the top of the search order, and all those people that have saved your beautiful listings as a favorite will get a hit. That way it'll keep your listings in front of your inventory, in front of their minds. Oh, you guys want to know a secret? We have a new app out. It's called Zillow 3D Homes. And you can go in and do a 3D for free on your homes. And it's not yet connected to Zillow, but start practicing now. When I went with the product launch team to kick this off, my first home, I think that I did the 3D was like a 2,300 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath. It took me about, oh my gosh, almost an hour to do it. By the end of the day, I could zip through and do them in 20 minutes. Matterports are anywhere from, 3D Matterports are anywhere from $150 to $300, and we've just given you a tool that's for free, and it's under Zillow 3D Homes. The cool thing about the 3D Homes, too, is when we connect the 3D Home to Zillow Group, it'll keep it at the top of the search order, and it won't age down. It will even supersede the video walkthroughs. I mean, talk about think about that at a listing appointment, you guys. Make sure, what if you know that you're going to be going against a couple of other agents for that listing? Make sure that you brag about that function. Hey, I have a tool that will lock your listing at the top of the search order, and it won't age down as new listings come on board. I mean, that's a great sales tool. So it's super easy. You simply go to find how to do it. It's easy. You just go to Zillow, your Premier Agent app, and this little hamburger right here is a drop-down menu, and you're going to go to the listing, and you'll just click on Add Video, and you just publish the video. Now, again, the function begins at 10 seconds, and you can take all the way out to a 2-minute video. Please don't do that. Please just do like a movie trailer, like a teaser video. So what a cool perspective to walk up to the front door and then turn around and do a 360 of the neighborhood. Usually home shoppers don't get that perspective, and that usually only takes about 15 or 20 seconds, but you'll get that video walkthrough feature on there. You've got, here's how you work your profile and manage your profile through the app. It's very easy. You just sign in using your Zillow credentials, and you can take care of your profile, like your photo, making sure that you have a robust service area. I would put your counties in there. So whatever counties you're working, you would put that county. Make sure that you get reviews and respond to reviews, add your profile video. You can do all of these things through the app and laptop as well. So let's talk about using Zillow Group with social media. Super easy. You just come into Zillow and you've got a more button and it brings up Zillow Porchlight. What's cool about Zillow Porchlight is you can search by topic, but you can also do keyword searching. And all you have to do, what's really cool is you just come into Porchlight, you click on an article, and you can actually use the article 3 different ways. You can, on the side, you'll see your social media live link buttons where you just click on Facebook, you share on a page you manage, which is your business page. Before you let it fly, please make sure that you put the URL for your website. So where it says say something about this post, you'll put www. whatever the heck your website's called.com, and then let it go. You can also use that article for a really cool drip campaign in your CRM. All you have to do is just copy and paste it like you would a Word document. Make sure you always give attribution to the author, which is easy to do because it's right there in the title. It'll grab all the pictures and everything, and you can copy and paste it and put it into your website as a blog post. And you can copy and paste it into your CRM and send it out to your hit list as a really cool drip campaign. So we just wanted to let you guys know that we have additional training in our resource center. It's really easy to find. It's in your agent hub, and it'll say training, and you pop in, and you have all kinds of really cool things that you can utilize. You've got tons of downloads to utilize, too, for your drip campaign. And actually, John in Denver on October 1st sent out the fall checklist for his drip campaign, and he ended up getting 2 listing appointments on that. I guess the homeowners didn't want to go through the hassle of going through the checklist anymore. And I just wanted to let you guys know that not only do we do homes for sale, but we also have one of the largest rental markets as well. And that's really important to know because the people that are shopping for a rental are simultaneously shopping at 57% to purchase as well. So just know that sometimes when you get a rental inquiry, regardless of what feed source you're getting it from, treat them like top shelf clients because you'll be able to probably convert that. You have like a 50-50 chance of conversion. And if they won't convert now, make sure you put them on a drip campaign for a market report. Make sure you have rental-specific drip campaigns like how to save for a home, how to get your credit in order, those kind of things. And then put a task in to call them back in 9 months to see if they're ready to go yet. And if you've given them that quality top-shelf service, even though you don't do rentals, those renters eventually become home buyers, and I want them to buy with you. So there's no such thing as a bad lead. It's just, number one, they're not ready to talk to you yet. They're not ready to transact yet. But if you give them really good follow-up, you'll be able to cash that paycheck. This just talks about the 3D homes. I'm telling you, I'm so excited about that. It's going to be a huge coup in your market, especially if you guys can get really adept at using the function. And then as soon as it gets connected to Zillow, you guys will be able to dominate the top page of Zillow. I mean, how cool would that be? So I just want to say thank you very much. Here's my contact information. My number is 206-757-5058. My email is quite simple, elizabetha@zillowgroup.com. So we talked about the importance of how to convert. We talked about how to use Zillow Group with social media. And we talked about how to create a brand that more consumers desire to connect to. So at this time, this is my favorite question to ask. Where's your pain, you guys? Are you having any difficulties converting online leads? If so, this is a great time to bounce ideas off each other.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Hardly. So
I have a question.
Thank you.
My question is, everything that you presented to me, and please correct me if I'm wrong, is geared towards someone who is a paying member, being Premier Agent. What I would like to know is what is available through Zillow for those of us that are not Premier Agents who are not paying to be part of Zillow.
Every single thing that I just went through is for a non-paid person. The only thing that is available, that's not available to you, is showing up on the buyer's agents list, rotating on other people's listings. That's the only thing that's not available to you.
So even though it says Premier Agent, it's available to everyone, is that right?
Yeah, matter of fact, it's really wise to download the Premier Agent app. Now, if you have the app on already and you have an iPhone, I need you to do this. I need you guys to get out your iPhones and I need you to go to your iPhone settings, please and thank you. Then I want you to click on notifications. You're going to scroll down to where it says Premier Agent. And you're going to notice that it defaults onto temporary. You don't want that. You want to change it to persistent. So if a lead comes through on your listing, you won't miss it. Or if some other push notification comes through on your phone, you won't miss it. The title Premier Agent app can be used by anyone, whether you're a paid advertiser or not, and you have access to all those benefits that our consumers are looking for in a great agent. Responding to reviews, more reviews, your past sales, your active listings with video walkthrough in 3D, and also the CRM on the back end.
Okay, thank you. And the second question is, the coming soon feature, is that only available to paying Premier Agents, or is it available for free to everyone else?
Coming soon is only available to Premier Agent. Premier Agent has a whole host of amazing benefits to it, and I'm not going to go through that right now with you because I'm not here to pitch you, I'm here to help. But coming soon is a paid advertiser's benefit.
Hi Elizabeth, it's Lisa Longaback, how are you?
I know, I see you. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, quick question. So, if somebody's a team and they want their team members to have access to this, is there a way to have like the same thing show up, I guess, like for leads?
Yeah, matter of fact, when you're, thanks, Lisa. Matter of fact, I think the question you're asking is, when you're a team lead and you have team members underneath you, you have what's available to you called a team management function on the profile where you add your team members, and heck, you can set up routing rules, you can set up tasks, you can see team reporting, you can see everything that the team members are doing on their end. So you get Lisa, you get a lead, and then it's routed to me. And then I use the lead disposition, the time frame, the notes, and all that good stuff. You'll be able to see exactly how I'm honoring you by how I'm taking care of that lead.
Okay, great. So if I'm hearing that correctly, you're going to answer all my calls for me. That's awesome.
So do you guys have any issues like that Dan's estimate, how to overcome that? Do you have any issues about I want the listing agent? Do you have, you guys don't have any questions for me?
Go with this estimate.
This estimate?
Yeah.
So what I would do is I would use Zillow. Let me show you how I would, this is how agents are doing that Dan's estimate question. So let me just get in here really fast. May I please have a zip code?
19047.
19047?
Yes.
So what you do is you come up here, and you get rid of all of these, and you come into recently sold, and I want you to use us against us. So what you want to do is you come in, and you'll probably put in some of the same attributes, like let's say let's do 2 bath. Let's do sold last, 30 days. Okay, So this is the great part right here. What you do is you just click on here, and for sellers that say, but Zillow says my estimate is $654,192. What you say is, I understand that. Zillow is located in Seattle. The estimate is just an algorithm of thousands of data points. It's kind of a guesstimate. And what we know is that the market is about $625 for a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 4,000 square foot home. Now, conversely, if you're talking to a buyer, let's see if I can find one that goes the other way. Shoot, sometimes they're under. I'm just trying to find one that's kind of, oh, here we go. So for a buyer, this what you say to them is, the estimate is, you're saying I should be able to put in an offer at $301,000, but actually the market sustains this at almost $350,000. So do you see how that would, by using us against ourselves, that can really help you? Yeah. What else you got? I'm talking about working any kind of lead. Do you need help working? I mean, I'm a marketing expert for agents. I can't believe you don't have any more questions than just that. Yes, ma'am.
What is the best way for a new agent to market or brand itself on Zillow?
Can you please repeat the question, lady in the white sweater?
What is the best way to market yourself as a brand new agent?
Ooh. So what you want to do is note this. You can get a review from anyone that you've helped in real estate. It does not have to be transactionally. In your sphere of influence, that's a great place to mine for reviews. And what you do is you just say to them, hey, listen, I'm building my online reputation on Zillow. May I please count on you for a great review? And then text or email them the request for review that I'm going to send to your group. Sphere of influence, you guys hardly ever get a return of it, an ROI, return of investment out of there. So make sure that you're monetizing it by going after reviews from that bucket of that business silo, okay? And then the other thing that I would do is make sure that you're putting video, that you're utilizing video a lot. So if you're going in touring homes, that you Facebook Live them, that you do a quick little video on your cell phone as well, and publish that to your Facebook, so it's not just live, but actual. And you know what? You can do a 3D of that house, which would be cool. We're also launching, I probably shouldn't be telling this anyway, but I'm telling you guys, keep it among us, okay? We're going to be launching home tour highlights pretty soon, where as a buyer's agent, when you're viewing homes, you can add a comment about the sweet spot of that home, and it'll brand you with your verbiage. And those, yes, are moderated. So if you're viewing a home and they've got a beautiful master, you're not going to regurgitate the description on the MLS. You'll say something like, beautiful fireplace and lovely tile in the bathroom. This is an exquisite ensuite. And then you can publish that, and it'll have your brand, your face right there. And then if the consumer desires to, they can click into it. So keep an eye out for home tour highlights, which will give you extra exposure, video, and going after reviews. And then make sure that you're listing keyword phrases as well, like first-time home buyer, second home, vacation home, because that gives you additional content. And then I'll send those examples out to you as well. Waterfront, golf courses, equestrian, anything that would trigger the reticular activator in your brain. I mean, when you buy a car and suddenly you see that make and model everywhere, that's your reticular activator. And when you're responding to reviews, it helps you attract that next buyer or seller, and it adds really cool content to your profile. So as a new agent, video, lots of reviews, responding to reviews, and make sure that you have a nice tight bio. Don't make it read like a resume. Talk about why you are doing what you're doing. Give us a little bit of flavor of you, if you're active in your community, what you love doing, and then make sure that as a new agent that you get into really good follow-up habits such as make sure that you connect with your people. It's a buy or die attitude. Don't give up on them unless they, unless you're cashing their check, and then still make sure to keep up with them. And if they pass, rest in peace. But it's the buy or die attitude. And what's nice about being a brand new agent, especially being under KW, is that you're going to get really great training that'll help you develop really great habits, like time blocking, for instance. My agents will, every week, every Wednesday, they'll send out the request for review. The 6th of the month, they'll prospect our site for new listings, or they'll prospect the expired listings. And numbers on like the 7th of the month, what they'll do is they'll come in and do a brand refresh. They'll come in, make sure that they're current on all-time past sales. They'll do some social media through the Zillow blog area. They'll respond to all the beautiful reviews that have come in for that month. Because if you're going after reviews every week or every other week, at about week 5, 6, from that point on, you'll have brand new, fresh reviews coming in, which is a great way of keeping your brand fresh. What else you got? All right, well listen, I want to thank you very much for coming in today. Again, I know that you guys are busy, and thank you for spending your time with me. I appreciate it. Right back at you. See you later.
Hey, I've got to say thank you to Lisa. Lisa is the one who brought this. This stuff, I had no idea. We had all this stuff available for free.
I actually met them at Mega Camp in Texas because I was mad. So I was getting a text from my seller saying your listing's still showing as pending, blah blah blah. And it went back to active, and she was not mad, but she was like, well, "How do you do that?" And I said, "I don't know. Let me figure it out." So I'm thinking, I'm not calling them. I'm going out to the, whatever they call that vendor area, and there they were with their big giant booth, 10 of them. I'm like, hey, how do you get this to work? And I actually took pictures of me. I had somebody take pictures of me with the Zillow team and their big logo, so I could text my seller and go, look, these people can't figure it out, nobody can. She thought it was awesome. And then, like, within a couple hours, which even when you don't need to see them, you can call them. Though I will tell you that that's something you guys should check when you have a property pending and then you put it back as active. It's a glitch, and it's a Keller Williams glitch. It's not really a Zillow glitch. But people look, every seller looks there first. I don't know why. I'm not a fan, but they do. You have to make sure that the KW site says it's active. So check your listings, make sure that they're active everywhere they're supposed to be. Like, to me, that's one of the biggest steps.
Wait, I think it's because Zillow doesn't pull our listings from the MLS, it pulls them from KW.
Correct.
So you have to go onto our site and then go to, I think it's the technology tab, and then KWLS.
It's
go in there.
KWLS, yeah.
Yeah, search your listing and then make sure
It's active.
2 things can happen. One, it can actually expire before your expiration date and trend.
Correct.
And secondly, if it does go pending and then back active, I don't know what status is in there, but it's just make it active if it's not coming up as.
That's one of the biggest ones. But I contact them all the time because I'm like, somebody needs to work on this that's smarter than I am, because sometimes it's really frustrating. Same with open houses. Don't assume that it's showing up on them. Yeah. Last week I had 4 open houses. 1 showed up, and I usually do it Thursday and then Friday. Still, 3 were not on there. 1 showed up. So they worked on it and did it pretty quickly. But again, like, if you just assume it's there, poo-poo on you, because it's not always.
Lisa's very passionate about Zillow.
I actually, it's funny. She was very nice, and I thought that would be a cool thing for her to do for the office. I can't tell you how angry they make me sometimes. And I did have a conversation with her about that. It's super frustrating. And
I call it fake news.
no, but I mean, it's super frustrating when your stuff doesn't show. Where, we've had problems in the past. I think it's pretty much corrected now, but it's like you put your listing in and it's not there, and you're like, are you kidding me? Because our sellers, to me, are going right there. I don't know why they don't go to Realtor.com. It shows up there. So I may not like them, but we still are in their market because they're owning it.
Can we get a copy of that presentation?
I think she
I just recorded it. It'll be on our YouTube channel. I recorded it.
Honey, so we're gonna have lunch, but first, we've got Andrew from Highland Electric coming in. He's one of our vendors, so please remember him when your seller or buyer needs electrical service.
Do they eat afterwards?
Yeah.
Okay, no, they want to grab the food now. Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing today?
Right.
Oh, wow, that was actually pretty good. Okay, so what am I here to tell you about? Things to think about when you're walking through with your clients, things to look for. So some of you are smiling because I've given you a lot of this information before. Start with panels. Panels is one of your biggest things. There are 4 that are deemed unsafe for any of your clients that are selling or buying. An insurance agent will not insure the house. If somebody buys cash, that is their choice. You do not need to insure it. You see a thing called Federal Pacific, Stab Lock, a Murray panel, but a certain Murray. It's an orange or a burnt orange top breaker. It's a 200 amp breaker. It's deemed unsafe. It will catch fire. And the other one is fuses, which probably most of you know. That's mostly just in Bristol now. A few other places outlying that will have fuses. If they have any of those, they will need to be replaced.
Can you say the name?
Yeah, please.
Sorry, let me go fast. Federal Pacific. Just like the ocean, that's how it's spelled. Stab Lock. S-T-A-B.
That one just sounds not right.
And the reason why is the way they actually locked in, that's stabbing in. That's the reason why they fail.
How you spell Stab Lock?
S-T-A-B-L-O-C, I believe. It might be a K, I don't remember. I just know when I see them. Federal Pacific, you can tell them right away. Usually, if you're even looking inside the panel, they're black with like an orange arm on them, or red, depending on how new they are. If anybody has like a double tap in those panels, I personally as an electrician, cannot put breakers in to make those minis. They have to be changed.
Will the words be, will the name of it be on there?
Yes, it'll either be on the cover that opens or actually physically on the outside ring. Now, people do paint them. That's what I'm saying. So these are, usually that's what I brought this in. Usually when I get a home inspection report, the ones that come with pictures are usually the best for me. Because when I'm seeing a picture, I can look instantaneously at the type of breaker it is and know what panel it is. Just from that. The other one is Murray, M-U-R-R, I believe A-Y. And it's just one of those. It's an orange, burnt orange, or a red breaker. It's a top and it's a 200. If it's a black, it's okay. What happened was the orange one was made, UL approved, and then Murray decided to throw away the UL listing and made their other breaker cheaper and put it in, and it's faulty. They lost their license, lost their company. They went out of business a year and a half later because of it. At that point, they actually had given a $200 money back if you had bought one of those panels through the government. That's all gone. So, but if you see it, you know that's bad. And then the fuse panels are just basic fuse, screw-in fuses or pull-out fuses. Other ones that people seem to complain about are also Push-O-Matic or Bulldog. It's the same company. You'll see inspectors talk about those. Those panels are fine. No issues with those at all.
Are the issues that it's hard to get parts for them?
No, the breakers won't trip. You can take the 2 feeds and I can shove them together and you can watch them melt down in my hands and the breakers won't go off.
No, for the Push-O-Matics.
Push-O-Matics are just old and they're costly.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the biggest problem. People don't want to pay the money. A standard breaker that you put in a Siemens panel is about $7 to $12, depending on, no, not arc faults, just regular breakers. The 2 poles are around $20. Standard Push-O-Matic single pole breaker starts at $68. 2 pole breakers $120. They're no longer being made. The reason why is they were the best breaker made. They couldn't compete with the cheaper brands. They went out of business. Now it's an aftermarket breaker, so you have to pay for it. That's basically what it comes to.
What was the fourth after Murray? What was the name of that?
Just regular fuses, like either the screw-in fuses or the pull-outs. Usually find them a lot in Bristol Barrow. I think that's, and then like I said, some of those like homes out in the far suburbs that are not in developments. The 5th one, which is very rare here, you can run into them very rarely, is called Zinsco. Z-I-N-S-C-O. It's a California company. They didn't sell a lot here. I've been an electrician 32 years. I've probably seen 5 of them. but they do exist. Every once in a while, you'll see one that'll pop up. So, and the reason why Zinsco is actually a subsidiary of Federal Pacific. It was their West Coast division. So it's the same panel, just different stamps. That's all it was. It was where you sat on Mississippi. It's the same company. A lot of the other times, what you'll find that you're going to fail on your, not you fail, your clients are going to fail inspections are GFIs. There are two types, obviously. You have your indoor GFIs, which have to be at any source of water within 6 feet. New inspection or new code says every countertop in a kitchen needs to be GFI protected. So a lot of your home inspectors are taking that, meaning that now in house sales they're required. It's a gray area. It's not in our code saying it has to be on existing, only on new. Once I touch it, I have to bring it up to code. So that's where the gray area falls in. A lot of times your clients will just be for the extra $200. It's not worth rocking the boat over, but that's again a discussion you can have with your clients. Outdoor GFIs have to be outdoor rated. Reason why, they're made with stainless steel instead of the regular bimetal, which will rust up. So that's why they do cost more, because it's a stainless steel device. Levittown, Bristol, and again some of the outer lying areas you'll see ungrounded outlets, which means you have the two prongs. The middle one, that's a regular grounded outlet. Older wiring did not have a ground. There is no way to get a ground there without rewiring the entire circuit. Usually a very large expense. None of your clients would do. I wouldn't do it. My own home. There's two choices depending on which township you're in. Bristol Township will allow us to put a GFI breaker or a GFI outlet at the first device, and you keep your 3-prong plugs. That is as of this year. Every year they look at their decisions, and that could change in 2019. And it has flip-flopped 3 times in the past 5 years in Bristol Township alone. It all depends on the inspection agency they're using, whether they'll accept it. If not, then they have to be the standard 2-prong plug. That is code and is legal. That is what will be required as far as the townships are concerned. Ben Salem will not allow the GFI. I can tell you that right now. They want
the GFI breaker, the GFI plug.
Either one. They will not allow if you have non-grounded wiring. There's not a lot in Ben Salem, there are a few. Going to Ben Salem, a lot of times you'll also fail your inspections for no grounding. Reason why, there was no ground rod and no ground wire run to the cold water pipe. The inspector used to be in Ben Salem Township was a guy named Walt. If you had $20 on the counter when you walked in, didn't matter how bad your wiring was, he was going to pass your inspection. Swear to goodness. As a 16-year-old kid, I was working at Ben Salem Country Club, putting in a giant transformer. It's about half the size of this room. My dad was on the back side. He walked up, and I was working what's called a CT